Hello there. Welcome again to the Third and 10 podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Wynn, joined by my guy, Brian Germanaro. This is season 3, episode 11 um, of our podcast. And Brian, happy Tuesday. Good to see you. How you doing, man?
You know, I always
Mm.
forget how bad 10 times starts are for baseball if you live on the East Coast because it just throws off your entire night. Your whole routine is off. Like normally, the game starts at 7, it's done by 10. You can watch a few shows, maybe play some games, and then go to bed. After that, everything's thrown off, and then either you win and you're excited and have to go to bed, or you're pissed off and you have to go to bed.
And
It throws
thank
it
God,
throws
yeah.
off everything. You don't know it being on the West Coast. On
Look,
the
yeah,
East Coast, it's brutal. Finishing a ball game at 1:30 in the morning.
it's nice over here, man. Yeah, at least for us, like the games aren't late. I mean, you mentioned 10-10 start for you guys, which is for those of you who don't know how to, tell time in the West Coast, that's 7-10 start. Um, so we're chilling over here, man. That's like the one flaw about the East Coast is that everything was kind of starts late. Same thing with football, right? Football, I think it's a Sunday night football is at 8 o'clock, 8-10
That's not
start.
as bad because at least that's kind of like the game's over at like 11, so you can do something afterwards.
Hmm. Yeah, true. But baseball is that's what happens when you play West Coast teams. But
Eh,
hey. At least y'all won. That's
yeah,
what matters.
exactly. Yeah, at least we won. I've done
Yeah.
it when we've lost. It's not fun. You just sit there like, okay, what are you now?
It's like, alrighty, time to go sulk or have a drink or whatever the case
Mhm.
may be. Um, but yeah, we'll talk about your Mets later on today, or in the show, I should say, and a great win by you guys against the Dodgers. But we'll also preview or review the series that you had this past weekend. Um, good homestand overall, but we'll
I mean, we
obviously dive
played
into.
the Rockies. Like, what do you want?
Hey, they got 10 wins. They got the 10 wins. We
Wow,
love it.
it's June 3rd.
I know I'm telling you, they're really bad, man. Like that's just I've never seen a team that bad, and holy cow, that's
No, and the funny part is they're not even trying to be bad. Like,
they're
they're
trying
if you
hard to
look,
win,
I
man.
forgot what show I was listening to yesterday, but they were like breaking down like the Rockies front office, and a lot of the people there have been in baseball development for the team, like in their positions since the '90s. Like, it is really bad. Like I think like the director of analytics is the owner's son or like the friend of the owner's son. Like, it is just horrific. It might be the most run organization in sports when it's all said and done.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt about it. The owner's trash. They fired their
And
manager
the owner
thing, and he also
spends. Like, you can't even get on for not spending. He spends. He gave Nolan Arenado that big contract. He gave Chris Bryant a big contract, which again is stupid because you just traded Arenado. You should have just kept him and put the Chris Bryant money somewhere else.
I'm trying to think of did they sign anyone this past offseason? They did, right?
Um,
Well, I guess they.
I don't think. I mean, maybe like a reliever or like a nobody, but I don't think they signed anyone impactful.
Yeah, Sky Alexander was one guy that they signed this offseason.
Yeah.
Thyro Estrada, Kyle Farmer, Jacob Stallings.
Stallings
Kyle,
is not. Stallings is okay as a
mm,
player before he went to the Rockies.
yeah. It's crazy. There's been like a bad team every single these past 3 years. There's always been that one bad
Right.
team that's laughable. The A's were what 2 years ago. The White
Right.
Sox were last year. Now it's the Rockies.
But at least with the A's and White Sox, is they weren't trying to be good. Like there was like the A's rebuilding, the White Sox in the beginning of tearing down this horrific team they've assembled. The Rockies went into this season not thinking they were going to win anything. Don't get that wrong, but they thought they would at least be a 70-win team, 65. They didn't expect this.
No doubt. And it's only gonna get worse. There's no yes, they reached 10 wins yesterday, but like you mentioned, it's June and they're on pace for what, maybe 20
It's the
wins.
quickest team to 50 losses since the 1884 Kansas City Union.
Long time
A
ago.
long time ago. That's pre
Grandparents
World
weren't
War One.
born. Yep, grandparents weren't born. Great
I don't
no.
think Alaska and Hawaii are states yet. I think America is still 48 states.
That's how you know. It's been a long time. But hey, who knows? Maybe the Rockies turn it around, man. I wish them nothing but the best. Honestly, they're in a.
I feel bad for Rocky fans. I don't.
If I had to reference a movie line,
Oh my! Hang on a second. 1884. At that point, America only had 38 states.
that's what you
There,
know. It's
the
a
last
mess.
time a team did this, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Washington, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona, Alaska, and Hawaii were not a part of the United States yet. Half that, I think, still might have belonged to Mexico.
That's what you know. It's been a long time, my friend. It's America wasn't what it is today. A lot of things weren't what they are today. Like it's
America wasn't the country it was today.
America
There
wasn't
wasn't 50
America, man.
states.
America wasn't America, bro.
There wasn't 50 states yet. We were still having manifest destiny.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you, just no, it's just bad. It's just terrible, and it's only gonna get worse. But I wish them nothing but the best. I hope they somehow miraculously turn it around. But considering the roster they have, it's probably not gonna happen. But I digress. But hey, we're fans of winning. Nope, I can't say the same. My A's are ass too. I'm not gonna lie. Excuse my language.
We're
there.
Giants fans. What are you talking about? We don't know what that is.
Yeah, but we want a chip in our lifetime.
I mean, yeah, but that was 2011.
Hey, we can always hang on to that, my friend.
Ago.
Yeah, but
10.
I know, but hey, we want a chip or two.
Yeah, we have seen a chip in our lifetime, but like since then, they've only appeared in the playoffs twice and have one playoff win.
That's man, that Green Bay one.
I think they only had 3 winning seasons since then. The following year where they went 9-7 and just missed, and then the Green Bay loss, and then 2022. Other than that, I think they've been under 500.
I know. Well, that we hope they turn it around this year, and we are in June, so we are a month and some change left until we have our the Hall of Fame game. So excited for that when the time comes, and we'll talk a lot more football in July when we have our division previews and all that fun stuff. But speaking of history, we will dive in a little bit into it in the show today. Some recent news came out in regards to Odell Beckham Jr. This made me low key sad. Never wanted to leave the Giants. So much stuff went on during the time that he left. In terms of him not wanting to be there and stuff like that, but he never wanted to leave, and it just solidifies the fact that Dave Gettleman is a hole. But we'll get into that in just a bit.
I think we all knew that.
Yeah,
I feel like most people have learned that already.
Yeah, but at least we got it confirmed with the with the comments made from Odell on Saturday, and we'll dive into that as well. We'll talk about the NBA Finals, how they're set. We'll talk more about it Thursday since Thursday's game 1, but we'll preview a little bit today. We'll talk about the Mets as well. They're back on top of the East. Great win. We're recording this on Tuesday, so they played the Dodgers on Monday, and they got the win there. So congrats to the Mets. We'll talk a lot more about them later on in the show. And finally, we'll end with our post-game segment where we dive into some NFL centers retiring, some NHL stuff as well. For those of you who don't know, Brian was on the Belly Up Sports NHL Super Show previewing the Stanley Cup Finals. So check it out if you haven't quite yet, as Ryan McCarthy was the host and was joined by Brent Rathitsky of the 1420 Sports Podcast as well. And then also Dustin, who works with Ryan on the No Credentials Required podcast. So check them out on the Belly Up Sports channel. And without further ado, let's get started. All right. Odell Beckham Jr., man, drafted in 2014. Look, I get it. When we had Victor Cruz, he was my favorite receiver in Giants history ever. Like, even when we had Amani Toomer and Plaxico Burress, like, sure, they were cool, but like they never was my favorite guy, But Odell took over that favorite wide receiver spot when he joined the team, and I'll always remember his first touchdown against Atlanta. I think he missed like the 3-4 games.
He missed the first 4 games with a hamstring injury, and then plays first game against Atlanta.
Yeah, it came out. I think it was like a sort of like a slant route. You like he
was in like the corner of the end zone, but like the front corner, not the back corner, like the front corner of the end zone.
Front corner of the end zone. Yeah, It was nice, and he little celebration.
Yes, he hit the lip.
Um, I love it, man. I miss him. I do. He was so good for us his rookie season. Had that obviously the infamous one-handed catch
I had a
that
shirt with that picture on it of him doing the catch.
really.
It was him doing the catch and 13 behind it. It was
Oh,
really
man.
it was actually really cool.
One
I have it somewhere here. Doesn't fit me anymore.
hey,
Actually, it might fit me. I have clothes from middle school that still fit me.
still one of the greatest moments in Giants. Oh, speaking of clothes, I have updates on that, but we'll talk about that. For those who don't know, going to a Giants Dodgers game in next week. Yeah, going next week. But I have an update on my fit. But I'll get your opinions later on in the show. But yeah, Odell spent 5 seasons with the Giants, drafted in the first round by us. And yeah, signed a long 5 year, $90
5-year
million
extension. Yep.
extension. Yeah, in
Mm-hmm.
2019.
We didn't sign
But
Odell to trade Odell.
yeah, thanks, Dave. I would say some nasty stuff about Dave, but lucky we're nice people, Dave. So was traded away by the Giants in 2019, 7 months after that extension was signed. But on Saturday during the Champions League final, shout out to PSG. They won, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, they won I know soccer a little bit. Um, he spoke, or he was on some sort of podcasting, and he said, quote, "I never ever wanted to leave the New York Football Giants," and I cried. Well, I didn't cry, but I got sad inside. And he said the reason you heard me talking about what was going on was because I was pissed, because where I come from in college, if we lost one game, our season was over. He also said this is the organization I got drafted to. They believed in me, so if the Giants went and won a Super Bowl, I would be happy. But deep down inside, I wanted to be the one to lead the Giants to the Super Bowl. No question about it. So it's definitely you'll always hold that. But then someone like me, I went to the LA Rams, won a Super Bowl, but still you just want that, referencing the fact that he wanted to be the one to lead the Giants to the Super Bowl. And honestly, like if we didn't trade him, and yes, he battled injuries with us, but like it wasn't as bad as when he was in Cleveland with the
Right.
Rams
Yeah.
or the Dolphins. Like he was the healthiest. He was no. How do I say this? He was the healthiest in his career when he was with us.
Yeah. That
No doubt
makes
about it.
sense.
Yeah, because sure he battled injuries his rookie season, but like when he was just so productive here, and it's just like what could have been. Like he
Mm-hmm.
could have been a solid number one option for Daniel Jones if he stayed. Who knows?
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
the
hey, granted.
trajectory of Daniel Jones' career is much different. And the trajectory of the Giants, because if he's the number one receiving threat, we don't go sign Kenny Galladay. We don't. That money could go into maybe a Saquon Barkley extension.
Mm-hmm,
Maybe the Giants see in 2016 Eli's on the way out. We're in the perfect position to bring in the young quarterback, and then they don't draft Saquon Barkley because they have Beckham.
mm-hmm. Man, it's like when he said that he wanted to be the one to lead the Giants to
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl. I did too, man. Like
Yeah.
just he was just so marketable. Like he was
Mm-hmm.
just this golden boy for the Giants. With the looks and his play, and like it wasn't just the
I don't
catch
know if
that defined him.
golden boy is the right term to use, but he was the face of the Giants. I will give you that.
Mm,
Because golden boy
uh,
suggests like Eli Manning was the golden boy of the Giants because he was good on the field, and then off the field there was no issues. Beckham had a lot of issues off the field with the Giants. Now, granted, some of them were a little overblown, but like he did have drama surrounding him.
I will always that's true. I didn't mention that. I always remember the kicking net
The
situation.
kicking
That
that
that was yeah.
the kicking at the Josh Norman incident, the video when he was in the hotel room with some substances there, stuff like that. Like it was just like, man, can you just not do that? Can you just
Hmm.
not?
And I think he just all this stuff was done out of frustration. Because he wasn't a
Yeah.
losing franchise, and there was a time where he didn't make the playoffs, but then he struggled in that game, and
Hmm.
that's the infamous boat picture situation that will
Yeah.
never get to
Haunted the
live down.
Giants. Haunted the
I know,
Giants for a decade.
still haunting. Oh no, not really.
Not
Not.
really, because I think a lot of the management's gone. Everyone in that picture is gone and pretty much
Yeah.
out of the league by now. I think
Yeah.
Is Shepard was Shepard in that picture? Shepard's in that picture.
No, he wasn't.
I think he's the only guy left
in the league. Yes.
in the league. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
unless
Obviously, like Justin Bieber is still around.
Yeah, unless Odell has a contract, and he still can. I mean,
He still can, but even if he signs a contract, he's kind of washed. Like,
yeah,
he's not going to make an impact. Like he was on the Dolphins a couple days ago.
Yeah, come on home. Come on home. It's a fever dream. We don't need him.
It's a fever dream. I don't want him on the team right now. I think he becomes too much of a distraction at that point.
But
and you can live with the distraction if he's putting up his rookie numbers. I can't live with the distractions if he's going to be my wide receiver 4, 5.
Yeah. So I definitely don't need. Maybe as a veteran presence who can come in here and there, sure. But at this point in his career, with his recent history of play, just not the way to go. But does his comments on Saturday? Does that? What are your thoughts on that? Does it change any thoughts on him specifically? Is it just add on to the fact that Gettleman was trash?
It obviously adds on to the fact that Gettleman's trash. It adds on to like, oh, we didn't sign Odell, trade Odell. Odell wanted to be here. The only thing I can say, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, is if Odell wanted to be here long term and wanted to be a Giant, why didn't he ask for a no trade clause or no movement clause to like really stay? Like, I want to stay here. I'm not being moved. True. That's the only argument I could be like, well, if you really did want to, why wasn't there a no trade clause? Because if there's no trade clause, Gettleman's not shipping you off to Cleveland.
True. And you don't really think like I didn't even think of that either. Like no one really thinks of that, right? Because it's like, let's be honest, Brock Purdy was the most recent guy to have a no trade clause.
Yeah, trades aren't that big in the NFL. Like, we have trades, but, like, they're not, like, the deadline in the NFL is not like the deadline in the MLB, in the NHL, and the NBA, where, like, teams look forward to the deadline. In the NFL, it's kind of like a day. Like, granted, it's kind of become bigger over the past 7 years or so, but even then, like, you don't see teams selling off pieces like crazy. Like, you may get 1, maybe 2 veterans shipped off of a team for, like, a 4th-round pick, but outside of that, kind of nothing. Like, I think Zadarius Smith was the big name move last year. We're like, in the MLB, like, Sandy Alcantara could get moved at the deadline. Release Robert could get moved at the deadline. Like, these are well-known, established names.
It's more exciting in other sports.
Yeah, Durant got moved at the deadline in the NBA. Brad Marchand of the Bruins, the captain of the Bruins, got traded this year at the NHL deadline. Like, those are league-shifting trades. We don't have that in the NFL. Like, when was the anytime league-shifting trades happen, it's on draft day, and it's draft picks that do it.
Yeah, draft day or like in the off season, like it doesn't
like
happen.
When was the last big blockbuster NFL trade that was just like player for player, or like is it Matthew Stafford? The Stafford trade?
Stafford for Goff? Yeah.
Stafford for Goff, I think, is the last one you could say.
Yeah, I mean, Pickens traded to the Cowboys, but that's not as nothing. Big. Debo, Commanders.
That's something, but it's a 5th-round pick, so it's kind of like a prospect thing.
Yeah.
And Debo was like, it had been rumored he wanted out. He kind of didn't fit the Niners anymore. The Niners have been shopping him. It seemed like the end of a saga.
And if anything, like a big trade that's equivalent to like a KD being traded, it's like I'm trying to think of one. What's a KD type of trade in the NFL that could work? I'm trying to think here.
It would kind of have to be like
a Jay Jettas to Cincy type of thing.
Yeah,
because, like it's a superstar.
T. Higgins and like a couple other players.
Yeah, because you're trading a quote unquote. It would be in a situation a disgruntled superstar, traded away when you shouldn't be trading a guy like Jefferson away for, like you mentioned, a Higgins who is a good receiver but not as good as a Jefferson.
It wouldn't be a Chase; it'd be a Higgins type receiver getting moved.
Yeah, which by the way, that'd be insane.
See, that would break the NFL. That is what I'm talking about. That would be the exciting move.
That'd be that'd be damn near the NFL's version of Luka to the Lakers, because it's like, damn, you're giving Joe Burrow, Jefferson, and Chase.
I
Sheesh.
mean, yes, but I don't think the return would be as bad for the Vikings because, like, at least teams could still build around T. Higgins. And I think if T. Higgins is on any other team that's not the
Yeah,
Vikings, and maybe a few other spots like the Eagles and stuff, he becomes wide receiver one. He's good enough. We talked about this podcast how I would back, break the bank to bring him in this past offseason as a wide receiver one for us. He's
I
still
know.
25. See, everyone forgets Higgins is only like 26 years old.
He's still young.
Like he's
Long way to
still
go.
young. Like it would have to be like it had to be like Jay Jefferson for like a Tyreek Hill would be more Luka Doncic.
Because you,
Because it's an older receiver that was once one of the best players in the league, but is no longer that player. You know, that's kind of what Anthony Davis is now. Still a good player, and Tyreek's still a good receiver, but you could think of 6 or 7 receiver. Hell, I mean, on the dynasty rankings for receivers that are coming out in a couple weeks, I have Hill as my wide receiver 30 for dynasty. And now, just granted, dynasty, you have to think like in the next 3 years.
Yeah.
But if I'm thinking Tyreek Hill as the wide receiver 30 over the next 3 years, that shows you that he's done.
Yeah, he's not the first round, second round guy to take
No.
and even in regular fantasy,
he probably drops to like
fifth round,
yeah. Wide receiver 2 because you don't know what 2 is going to be and stuff.
Yeah, you bank on the speed, you bank on him being productive.
But like, how much longer can you bank on that speed at his age? Like, because I want to say he's 30.
Yeah. Plus, that Dolphins offense is just so questionable
31
right now. Yeah. Plus, the Dolphins offense is just questionable as it is.
Yeah.
So, but overall, yeah, man, sad that he left Odell when he left us via trade because Gavin wanted to be a freaking dummy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish he would have been the one to stay and help us possibly win a Super Bowl. And
now, here's the question because we have hindsight on this.
Yes.
Who won that trade? Do
us.
You think? Yes. Okay. I want to say us
sure.
too. Because we got Jabril Peppers for 3 seasons. I want to say he played, and he was good. It was good as
he was good, man.
He wasn't great. He was definitely underrated. But when you watch the plays, like, man, this guy makes an impact. We got Dexter Lawrence, who's the best D tackle in the league, and then we get Zimenez. Wasn't that
we did get Zimenez, yes.
Yeah. Which, you know what? When you already have, you basically got an elite player, a
good player,
a good to above average player, and an eh. I take that for Odell Beckham.
I would too, my friend. And Lawrence has obviously been one of, if not the best defensive tackle in the NFL when healthy. Peppers was great for us. I remember Al Oderman when he did the overtime coin toss.
Yes, when he was that popped up on my feed the other day.
Yeah, he was like, "Boo, we want that.
We want that." Yeah. I remember his when it was Daniel Jones' first career start at MetLife, and he picked off Dwayne Haskins for the pick 6, and he celebrated.
That was him, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
he was good, man. He
went off that game. I think he had like 2 picks that game on Haskins.
Wish we didn't let him go either, but he's still doing good now with the Patriots. So shout out to him.
Yeah, he's one of those players that I thought was gonna be really good in the NFL, and he never materialized to a star, but he's still a solid player to have on your roster. He's not a hole.
Low key, our safeties are in recent history have been underrated.
Yeah, we've had great safeties here.
Yeah, back in our Super Bowl days, we had Kenny Phillips, Landon Collins, Jabril Peppers,
Julian Love, who's out a star in Seattle.
Yeah, who's the other one? We let him go. Xavier McKinney.
Yeah, McKinney.
He was great. Yeah, like we had some good
safeties over the years. Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully it does continue. We have
Javon Holland. Newbin looked great this year. Like
NYPD, baby. Shoot, I'm excited for our secondary this year. But overall, we miss you, Odell. Wish you would have stayed longer with us, but obviously our GM was terrible during those times. But if a what if situation, if you stayed with us, who knows? We could have definitely made more progress in the playoffs if you were still here, made the playoffs at some point again during your time with the Giants. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, wish I would done nothing but the best. I know we talked about one day or 1 day contracts to retire as a player of a certain team. When Odo does retire, maybe hypothetically retires with us if he wants to. That'd be nice to see, because he did make an impact when he was with us. And the current regime right now, they would probably welcome him back to retire as a Giant with open arms because they actually know how much of an impact he did or he had when he was with the Giants in terms of his play. Um, Unlike that old dude who used the Wii remote to scout players and whatever. So yeah, screw you, buddy. Uh, yes, I do want to point out a mistake I made last week. Brian talked about Patrick Mahomes being the face of the league. I spent legit 30 minutes trying to figure out if another player could replace Mahomes as the face of the league, and I failed successfully. Could not find anyone that could replace Mahomes as the face of the league at this time. The closest person I could find was Jalen Hurts, but he doesn't want to be the face of the league. First off, second, he's too kind of quiet-ish, and he's not as marketable as a Mahomes. He still is. Maybe he is, the face of the Jordan brand from a football perspective. Hurts is, but it's
But
tough
if you're the
when.
face of the Jordan brand for football,
Mhm,
like
yeah,
who cares? Like,
yeah. I mean,
no
it's
one
still
no one's
great.
rushing for Jordan's new football apparel.
Yeah, it's still great. Like it's great that he's a face for football for Jordan,
Yeah,
but I was thinking about it, and you're right, my guy. I don't know what I was thinking. Mahomes is a guy who's led the NFL in statistical categories a few times in his career, multiple Super Bowls, including winning back to back. His voice, with his Kermit the Frog type of
mm-hmm.
voice, that he's had, multiple
Haircut,
commercials he's been on. Yeah, haircut, State Farm commercials, he's been on as well.
the
Um,
hardware,
yeah,
three Super
just
Bowl MVPs, three Super Bowls,
I know.
two-time league MVP,
Yeah. So
broken
I,
records, meets playoff records. Like,
yeah, he's the face of the league right now, man.
yeah,
And I guess it was just the hater in me showing at that time. But yeah, there's no one that can. I mean, maybe his teammate Travis Kelsey, if you
I
really want to
said
get into
that
Super
was the
Six.
only player I could think of that maybe
Yeah,
only because to be the face of the NFL, you have to transcend the sport. Like, and
yeah,
like if you went to a random person on the street and asked for a football player, Mahomes is probably the first player they say. The second one is probably Travis Kelsey because of Taylor
Chelsea.
Swift,
Yeah,
and that's only
and
why, just because of Taylor Swift.
hmm yeah. With Mahomes, it's like just the way he plays too. Sidearm throws, no look throws.
Sidearm,
Like we
yeah.
haven't seen that as often as we do, now compared to before he was in the league. So yeah, just a hater in me showing that day, and I do
Mhm.
apologize to you, my friend. But yeah, Mahomes definitely faced the league, and maybe someone else does replace him. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Maybe
face
Jackson
of
Dart
the,
is destined to be the face of the league. We don't know.
man, who knows?
Best part about it.
That'd be nice.
That
And
would be nice. That means we have a few Super Bowls in the next couple of years.
he's got some swag to him, man. He's got some swag to him. So yeah, that would check off one box, and hopefully when he does play for us, leads us to a chip or two. But well, obviously
Mhm.
we'll have to see. Speaking of faces, Saquon Barkley was announced recently as the cover of Madden 26. We'll be getting that actually. Yeah, I don't think the Madden curse will take effect for Saquon. I
I
think
hope. I hope it does.
I know, I know, I know. I do miss him too. I miss him as a face of the Giants, but shout out to him, man. It makes sense. Madden
Oh,
26, he's number
it
26.
makes total sense.
Yeah, if it was anyone else, I'd be like, huh? But no, definitely earned it. Great
Yeah,
season
I can't
last year
think
with
of
the
someone else.
Eagles. Wish he did it with us, but he killed us when he played against the Giants last year. Um, but yeah, definitely a game I'll be getting for sure. Getting the digital version instead of the disc. For I haven't needed to get a disc in a long time because I have the digital PS5, so no
Yeah,
need to
exactly. I
get a
got the
disc.
digital Xbox, so like you don't even get disc anymore.
Wish I could get the disc though. Definitely wish I could. I miss having
Um,
like
there's
I
certain.
miss it. I like the physical copies.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't like the one thing I like is the convenience of like just turning the game off and just switching to a new game without having
True.
to get up and take the disc out, put the disc in the box. Like it's tedious, but it's kind of like the remote control. Like, do you really want to get up and turn the channel on your TV, or else you want to hit a button and move over?
Saves times.
Yeah, and like I said, it's such a minute thing, and like it really wouldn't be a big deal if I had to do it. but it is very nice. Like, ooh, I can just, I could switch from Battlefront 2 to go back to college football and then go back to Battlefront 2 when my friends are on.
It's a 10 to
Speaking of which,
15 second.
if you're a Star Wars fan, get on Battlefront 2. We need Battlefront 3.
Ooh. Have not played it yet. Been playing a
You
lot of the
should
show
play.
recently.
It's
Haven't been
free
over
on
there.
Xbox. I don't know if it's free on PS5 or not. But I think it might be like $5. It's a 10-year-old game.
Damn, it's cheap. All right, I'll look into it, my friend. You said Battlefront 2?
Battlefront 2. Yep. We're
Writing
trying
it
to
down as we
convince.
speak.
We're trying to push EA to make a third one, and like everyone's been online. It's been hysterical,
Bet.
and
All
it's
right, I'll look.
a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Hell yeah, bet. I'll look into it, my friend, for sure. Yeah, been playing a lot of the show recently, doing a lot of 2-on-2s, cool up with my friend Josh, and yeah, we've had success for sure. We've won with the Brewers, we won with the A's, we won with the Dodgers, won with the Mets. That's you boys. I don't know. We have success with you guys. I don't know what it is. Well, no.
I have an idea. I have an idea of what it is. It might be, I don't know, Lindor, Alonso, Soto.
Yeah,
I'm just spitballing here, but it could be the three superstars.
I was playing with them the other day, and I bet with Soto, and a strike came through, and this dude did the shuffle. I'm like, oh my god, I remember this crap. Like,
He's done the shuffle twice now. Okay, narrative dead.
Oh man, it's fun though. The Mets are a fun team to play.
Oh my god,
like you can hit
the star talent they have, and like the pitching's kind of fun. You could be like Sanga, Peterson, and then you got Diaz in the ninth.
Yes, we definitely. I think the last time we played with the Mets, we pitched with, I believe, no, it was Clay Holm. No,
it was Clay Holm.
No, it was Sanga. It was with Sanga. My apologies. I was an Asian guy, so it was Sanga. So the Mets are one of our go-to teams for sure. No doubt about it.
Obviously.
But yeah. But as we shift forward from the NFL to the NBA, we'll talk a lot more about it on Thursday because Game 1 is set to be played on Thursday. But the NBA Finals are officially set. The Pacers took out the Knicks in Game 6. Before we even get to the Finals, my friend, your thoughts on the next season, just real quick. I know your Knicks fandom isn't as big as like the Mets or the Giants, but obviously,
right. I mean, no, it's a heartbreaking end. Like, we got to the Eastern Conference Finals. It felt like the best shot at winning a championship because even though the Thunder are really good, this is the weakest Thunder team we're ever going to see. The West is only going to continue to get better with teams like the Spurs continue to rise up and the Mavs kind of rebuild. And then the Lakers, when they, move on to LeBron, like the West is going to get better. I will say, I do have hope for the future with the Knicks. The East is going to get a lot easier now in the past couple of days. I've heard the Knicks are going to go shopping for the superstar, i.e., that probably means a Giannis trade or at least a comp. Because, like, what else would they say? They want a marquee, landmark name. The only player like that available is Giannis. Like, I know Trae Young's available. Not going to do that. They're not going to bring Kevin Durant at this point. Like,
I'm gonna say you want KD if he does.
No, I don't want KD. Everything that happened in Brooklyn and then everything happened with Phoenix this year, stay away. It just he kind of seems like a vibe killer at this point in his career.
Okay.
But yeah, East is easier. I think we'll be back. Is the big message I have for the Knicks is yes, it's the first Eastern Conference Finals since 2000. We'll be okay. We will return to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Cat, you want him to stay?
Yes, unless we have to move him for like a Giannis.
Okay.
If the Bucks call us and it's like we want Cat and like maybe some combination of Bridges and some picks, we're like, yeah, sorry, Cat. See you later.
See you later, alligator. But yeah, it was a good season by you guys. Brunson was a superstar, in these playoffs and in the regular season as a whole. Cat's lack of aggressiveness at times did irritate me just watching him play.
Right.
Did have some key moments.
The postseason, which is what mattered. So you give and take.
He had some good moments and had some bad moments in the postseason overall. But
yeah,
overall, great season by the Knicks, man. But the Pacers are just a good team, man. And Tyrese Haliburton was a giant slayer in the East, taking down, Giannis and taking down Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs with the number 1 seed. And then obviously took out the greedy Knicks in 6 games. So congrats to the Pacers, man. Heck of a series by Indiana and Tyrese and obviously Siakam, who won Eastern Conference MVP. Shout out to him, man. And he's an underrated number one / number two option. Low key.
Definitely, yeah, underrated. Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
I will say it is funny, the video of him in the championship in the ceremony when they're announcing the MVP for the conference finals, and he steps up, that's a step back. I might have laughed at that video for 45 minutes on
I know
Saturday night.
Tyrese thought he was gonna get it too.
Like
I was like, oh.
that took a little bit of the pain out of me. I'm like, oh my god, this guy is oh,
And I
he's
thought I was gonna
reaching
win it
like
too.
Tatum levels of corny.
Yeah, but he won't. I don't think he'll ever be as bad as
No,
Tatum.
no one will ever be as bad as Jason Tatum. But
Wait
like, he is like it's Tatum and then him.
Yeah, no doubt.
Jason Tatum still texts Kobe Bryant. Okay,
this is for you, man.
this is for you, man. If I was Kobe Bryant's wife, I'm like, dude, stop texting my husband, please.
Like I bet, like when and I'm not, and I say this joke with all due respect to Vanessa and the family, but like if she did keep his phone or Kobe's old phone, right, and it does vibrate at times because maybe like like a notification pops up of like 1 year ago today or 2 years ago, like those photo memories and stuff.
Right? Yeah.
But like maybe one day
Jason
like the
Tatum.
phone vibrates and then it's like, and then Vanessa's like, oh, another memory I can look into, and then she looks at the phone, it's like Jason Tatum, like, and she's probably like,
You think she hates Jason Tatum? I think she
no,
despises him.
I just think there's nothing wrong with having people you look up to. No doubt about it.
Don't.
But it's a bit much, because I don't.
Yeah.
Tatum was never close to Kobe. Giannis is an example of a guy who kind of is, because Giannis communicated with Kobe. I think he worked with him a few times, if I'm not mistaken, and he asked Kobe like, "Hey, what's my goal for this season?" And Kobe tweeted him back like, "Oh, MVP."
Yeah.
Went in one MVP. Like that's fine.
But I don't think Giannis is still texting him.
It's not texting Kobe at these days. Like that's
it's weird.
Tatum is just weird. Superstar, no doubt about it.
Right.
Just the other
stuff. You can be a superstar and be weird. You can't look look at Jokic. All right, look at him.
I like horses.
Dude doesn't like basketball.
I like horses.
He likes horses.
I like to like horses.
Like when they lost, like, thank God I can go back to Serbia and ride a horse. That's all I want to do.
He was relieved to be done. Everyone was all heartbroken and stuff, and he was sad low key, but he was like, nah.
He's like that worker on 5 o'clock right before like Christmas vacation. Like, let's go.
Let's go. Just want to go home. Go home and chill. But yeah, Tatum is just a whole different breed, and like, good player, man, but just gotta cut down the corniness low key sometimes. But overall, Halliburton to me, goofy. I always will love his choking celebration. I wish that it was a 3. If his foot wasn't on the dang line, that would have been so iconic to remember. But overall, good series by Indiana. Shout out to Siakam for winning the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals as they move on to the finals, where they'll take on the Oklahoma City Thunder, who advanced to the finals for the first time. Yeah. Oh, for this series.
Thunder in 5.
Really? Okay. Why do you think so? Why?
I just really think this Thunder team is a next level. I think they have the defense to lock up guys like Halliburton and Siakam. Caruso is, that guy. And then, they have to, figure out a way to stop, Shea Alexander, which is going to be next to impossible. And if they do, and they are able to lock him up, well, then they have to deal with guys like J-Dub and Chet. And the Thunder beat the Pacers twice in the regular season without Chet.
That's true. Right. Look, he said it all. The Pacers have done it all postseason, taking down Giants, taking down number 1 seeds. Honestly, if it was the Knicks, I would have put the Thunder in 4 or 5 games, but this is Indiana, man. They're just a different team. So give me the Pacers in 6 in this one. I just think Tyrese is just that good of a point guard, man. And Siakam has definitely turned it up in the conference finals. And I want Aaron Nesmith against Shea. I think Nesmith did a heck of a job taking or limiting Brunson when guarding him. And I think he'll do the same against Shea. As long as they don't send Shea to the line too many times, I think the Pacers will have a better chance than most people think. Chet's great. Hallelujah. But like, I want to see more from a scoring perspective. And yes, he did score a good amount in the conference finals against Minnesota. but we'll see how he does against Miles Turner, who's a bit of a stretch five himself. J-Dub was great too, but he'll take on Siakam. We'll see how that goes. In terms of that, I think because J-Dub's a three. Is he a 4 or 3? I forgot. Anyways, but yeah, I think this is a good matchup. Both teams are more evenly matched than people think. But we'll dive into our predictions a lot more when we get on Thursday. When we have our show on Thursday with Game 1 going on there. But give me the Pacers in 6, for sure. But yeah, heck of a season by both teams. Thunder taking on the Timberwolves 4-1. Honestly, happy they did that for my Lakers' sake because Minnesota took us out. It should be us in these finals, but I digress. Maybe if the Lakers had a big man, things would be different. But that's just a what if situation that we'll just have to live with. But yeah. Any other thoughts on the finals, my friend, or should we just dive into that more on Thursday?
I'll dive in more on Thursday.
That sounds good. Alrighty, we'll shift from the hardwood to the baseball field. 27. That is the number of games the Mets have won consecutively when Francisco Lindor has hit a home run, and he hit a home run on Monday.
Yeah, I mean when it's a home run, you just turn the game off. All right, Mets won.
All right, that sounds good. But my friend, take us through what happened this past weekend. The Mets, I believe, had the White Sox.
No, they had the White Sox this week, and then they had the Rockies this weekend.
All right. So take us through what happened since Thursday. Yeah.
So off day Thursday, we went in to Colorado. We had Colorado come in, beat them pretty handily on Friday night. Lindor had 2 home runs again. Saturday, more the same. And then basically we completed the sweep. We sweep the Rockies. On Sunday, Lindor, Alonso, and Soto all home run, which is the first time all season the big three have homered. And this is something I was always worried about because, the Mets always find ways to embarrass themselves, and it'd be very embarrassing if the Rockies were to come into Citi Field and get the win, get their 10th win against us. Thankfully, that didn't happen. The Mets continue their dominance at home. They are the best team at home this entire season. I think they're 21-7, which is the best home record. And for whatever reason, this team just gets juiced up to play at home, especially Francisco Lindor. Lindor loves playing from the whole crowd. He feeds off the crowd's energy. We saw it with his 3 home runs this weekend. Soto's starting to break out of it a little bit. Great for the pitching. Edwin Diaz, even though he blew the save last night, has been locked down. Looks a lot more like his 2022 self. He's finally gotten over that injury. But last night, another big test for the Mets, playing the Dodgers. Beat them in extra innings. Probably should have beat them regularly, but, Shohei Ohtani came up. There was a bad blown call in the 9th inning. A pitcher went right down the middle, called the ball by everyone, even Joe Davis on the Dodgers broadcast goes, I do not know where that ball missed. That is 100% a strike. It's right down the middle of the plate. The Mets did get a little bad news in that game, though. Mark Vientos looks like he's heading to the IL with a hamstring injury. This is after Keith Hernandez says that the Mets are going to get him into the 2 spot more to get him more reps and get him more pitches to hit to hopefully break him out of that slump. A rough season for Vientos. That sophomore slump really hit him. But the Mets are now expected to call up Ronnie Mauricio, who was the story of the Mets in 2023 in September. Hits the ball really hard, can run. He was pretty much penciled to be the starting third baseman in 2024 before he tore his ACL in the Dominican Winter League. So very excited to see what he has. I don't expect him to play today, but if we could get it, I think either Wednesday or Thursday, we're going to see him return. So excited to see what he does. He's a guy a lot of Met fans forgot. He reminds me a lot of Zach Wheeler in 2015, where the Mets had Harvey, Syndergaard, DeGrom, but they had Wheeler on the injured list. Similar how the Mets now have Beatty, Acuna, and Vientos. Everyone talks about them, but kind of forgets about Mauricio. So let's see if Mauricio can reestablish himself. I think he's supposed to feature on this team, but all we got to do, split with the Dodgers, sweep the Rockies, and then go back home for the Nationals and Rays in a pretty good spot.
Okay. Yeah, looking at it right now, Mauricio in AAA. Damn, 515 batting average.
He's crushing it. Just one player of the week. If you want a deeper dive in Mauricio, I have it on my Rising Apple page. I did a whole piece on him last week when he just won Player of the Week award. So Go check out there if you want to deep dive into what Mauricio does well and doesn't.
I like it. I like it, my friend. Looking forward to watching and see what. I've been trying to watch a lot of either Mets games if I can or Mets highlights. Just to, I don't know. I will say I love your commentary team. We talked about it a few times before, and forgive me
Yeah,
for
the
not remembering
SNY
the
booth,
names.
it's the best in baseball. I love how
Yes.
you're not here and it just looks like I'm talking to the voice of God.
Oh, really? Yep, I'm not showing.
You're not showing, it's just me. You
That's
just hear your
that's
voice.
crazy. That's crazy. But well, since I look like the face of God this time, I'm gonna refresh my page right now. But um, in regards to the Mets, just until I get my camera back up and running here,
Yeah.
I look quite silly at this
Oh, this
point in
is
time.
hilarious.
Yeah, this is embarrassing. I feel like yeah, I really do feel like God. Uh, shout out to the man above. Um, in terms of, I literally lost my train of thought. So Vientos, you mentioned he's gonna be on the IL. How long is he gonna be on
We
that?
don't know yet, and we don't even know he's going on the IL. The only reason we think this is because last night in the 10th inning, he hit a ground ball, slipped out of the batter's box, and immediately grabbed his hamstring. And then this morning we get the alert that Ronnie Mauriceo's getting called up. So it's either Mauriceo's getting called up and like Jared Young or Luis Angel Acuna's getting set down, or and the more likely scenario is Viento's on the IL. They haven't made any corresponding move to that yet, but that's kind of what the expectation is. I don't know how bad the hamstring injury is. I would expect 4 weeks on the
Okay.
IL for Vientos. So
All right. Do I no longer look like the face of God?
no, you
Do you
still do.
see? I'm still not in the camera.
Nope.
Are you serious?
There's
Oh
no
boy.
box here. It's just me.
Oh boy. This is gonna be an issue, isn't it?
It's
Alrighty.
just me
Uh,
talking. You can
uh,
just see my face, and then it's just the background.
we will need to adjust. I'll make the editing. This is why, for those of you watching on the audio version, it's better for you guys compared to the video version where you don't see me, and I don't know. I
Well, I
don't
mean,
know.
people watching the video version right now are getting the audio version of you. Everyone,
Yeah,
everyone is connected right now because they all see Nate the same.
yeah. I don't know how to fix it. I really don't. I'm just trying to
So
figure
we're
it out
just
right
gonna
now.
talk like this for the rest of the show.
I say we're almost done anyway. So hey, thank you for bearing with us, folks. Apple, get your crap together. Honestly, it's not my fault. Anyways, shout out to the Mets, top of the East. This is yeah, we're gonna have to get through this here. Nice job, technology. Anyways, NHL playoffs are set. Panthers, and
Oilers
Oilers are the Stanley Cup Finals
rematch last year.
matchup. Yes, rematch of last year. Panthers won last year. Or your thoughts on that, real quick? Do you have the Oilers moving on or
I
getting
have the
revenge?
Panthers winning in 6. I think the Panthers are the better team physically. They are more well-rounded because the thing about the Oilers is they're a deeper team this year than they have been in years past. Guys like Corey Perry and Connor Brown have stepped up and made more of an impact. But at the end of the day, their offense runs through guys like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and Evan Bouchard a little bit. If the Panthers can stop them, which I think their physical play with guys like, Matthew Tkachuk gets under guys' skins. Brad Marchand has been, he's been there before, has a lot of experience. They know how to shut down guys. And if they can shut down McDavid and Draisaitl, their offense will be dead. I had the Panthers winning in 6 games. And like I said, they're deeper. They have 10 players, which have scored 10 plus points in this postseason. And they had 3 players score 7 or more points in the conference finals. So gave the Panthers in 6.
Okay, give me the Oilers in 6 for Canada. That's my only reasoning.
It's also
I'm
funnier the longer the Canadian streak goes on. They don't win.
Yeah, it is their sport and they cannot
It's
win
their
because
sport, and they haven't won the Stanley Cup since 1993.
embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing. Imagine if we didn't win a Super Bowl since the 90s. Like we'd be the Cowboys.
Yeah, I wouldn't be bragging about being a Giants fan at all these days if that was the
No.
case. But alrighty. NFL centers. It was a whole retirement party yesterday. It seems like in the NFL. Frank Ragnow, the Detroit Lions center, retired
I
after
love
7
Frank Ragnow.
seasons.
Dude,
He was
play
so
with a
good.
broken neck.
He was a dog, man. He fought through everything.
He played with a broken neck. His neck was broken.
And he still played. because he's like he cares so much about the game and
Yeah.
about winning for his team.
I remember when I was a freshman in college, and this is probably still up. I had a blog that I would just like learn, kind of like getting better at writing. And one of the articles I wrote was about Fred Ragnow. I'm like, this is a guy I want all my linemen to be like.
First round pick out of Arkansas, one of the longest tenured players on the roster, was there during the rough times, and also the good times when the Lions would make the playoffs and whatnot. But like you mentioned, man, fought through many injuries during his time in the NFL. Made the Pro Bowl 4 times, All Pro 3 times in his 7-year career. Nothing to do with performance in terms of his retirement, because he was still one of the not one of the best centers in the NFL, I
I
should
mean,
say.
if you're playing through a broken neck, you probably got some wear and tear in your body. You're kind of
Yeah,
done it. After a certain
no
point,
doubt.
you're done.
Yeah,
I
and
can't take it anymore. I can't keep playing through broken bones.
and he hasn't been in OTAs, which
Yeah,
it makes sense.
he probably sweating. His body was sore, and he's like, "I make enough money. I'm done with
I'm
this.
good.
I'm
Yeah,
done."
it's the game's too physical, and he's still young, 29
Exactly.
years old. I think he retired
It's
at
why
29.
veterans don't go to camp. That's why I wasn't really concerned with the Stephon Diggs OTA stuff. I'm like, I don't know. A veteran doesn't want to go to OTAs. That doesn't
Yeah,
surprise me.
he was on a boat, but
He was
I
on a
guess.
boat, but like, I don't know.
David Andrews officially announced his retirement as well. The longtime Patriot center was released this past offseason after 121 career starts with New England. Started the moment he was a rookie. No, I take that back. He's he was basically thrown into the fire starting
Yeah,
in week 1 of his rookie season. Wanted to play with one franchise throughout his
and
whole
did that.
career. So once the Patriots, let him go, he just wanted to just retire.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
uh, definitely the heart and soul of the offensive line. What helped the Patriots win 2 Super Bowls during his time there. And he is the honestly one of very few undrafted free agents to span one career or his whole career with one team, I should say. So
yeah. Good for
congrats
him.
to Andrews. Yeah, Garrett Bradbury is set
Well,
to
I feel like a
replace him.
lot of undrafted free agents spend their entire career with one team, but like their career is 8 days.
Yeah,
He's one of the undrafted players who spent multiple years with the same team.
the same team and played at a high level too. So shout out
Yes.
to him. But yeah, Lions and Patriots will have to turn to their backups now. Like I mentioned with the Patriots, Garrett Bradbury, and then for the Lions, either it's going to be Graham Glasgow or guard Tate Ratledge, who they drafted in the second round of the 2025 NFL draft. So we'll see how
They
that
do
goes.
there.
But yeah, shout out to 2 stars, man. Two solid offensive line pieces, man,
Mm-hmm.
that had a good careers with the respective teams. So and then yeah, I guess in other news, Ronald Darby also retired too, the
Yep.
cornerback for the Eagles, and I can't remember the other team he
I
was
think
with.
he was a Lion, or maybe I mix him up with Darius Slay.
I say with the Lions for sure. Ronald Darby played for the following teams: Bills. Oh wow, played for a lot of teams: Bills, Eagles, Commanders, Broncos, and Ravens.
Mm.
Did not know he was with the Baltimore. Interesting.
Yeah, no, I think he's probably one of those like ring chasing signings.
Yeah. Well, like I
I
said,
got
we're
like
gonna go
Le'Veon Bell was a Chief at the end of his career.
just random players on random teams, my
Like I
friend.
said, that was the series I had last summer. Remember when players that played for teams you don't remember?
I
All on
remember that.
Belly Up. You can look it up.
I do remember that
Remember
series,
when
my
by
friend.
Belly Up Sports. You'll find them all.
Alrighty, so we're gonna shift over from well, like I said, you guys can't see me, but we still have to do pickle.
Pickle.
No excuses, no excuses
No
whatsoever.
excuses. No
So
day off.
yeah, you guys can't see me, well, apparently, but that's okay. All right, pickle, first player,
Are we
my
sure you
friend.
didn't get Thanos snapped?
I probably did. I ain't gonna lie. I see myself, but I
You
think
really? I can't see
I,
you. Wait, and
yeah,
maybe it's mine. Let's see. Let's check the live stream.
I know. Oh, I could have done that.
Oh, we
Ah,
see you on the
just
live stream. It might be me.
bruh. So I just sound silly. Oh well, it's okay, my friend. No
Mm-hmm.
worries. Alrighty, my friend though. But for pickle, all right. First guess. What do we got?
I can't even see pickle. Hang on. Let me.
Oh, you can't see pickle either. Alrighty. Well, I was waiting for Brian to get things loaded up here. Yeah. Well, I guess y'all could see me, which is great.
There we
Brian is back.
You think?
Oh, you see me?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Okay, cool. That was me, man. I was blaming
I guess
Apple
it
and
was
stuff all
me.
this time.
I guess so.
Nah,
I saw myself in the background. The background kept changing, so I'm like, oh, okay.
no worries, my friend. All right, my friend, what do you got? What's the first player we're guessing?
Give me Edwin Diaz. He's had himself
Edwin Diaz.
a good stretch here
Yes.
in the
Okay.
game
Not a
last
Mets
night.
player, not an East player, but he is a righty. So we'll take it.
So it's American League Central or West?
Mm-hmm. So probably go with the USA player.
Yeah.
I don't know. Brent Rooker, just to okay.
So he's an American League West player from America under the age of 30.
Oh, AL Central, right? Yeah.
AL Central player under the age of 30 from America. Bobby Witt
America.
Jr.
Oh, good guess. Ooh.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
25, 26, or 22, or 23.
Mm-hmm.
USA, huh? Ah. Trying to think. Royals, India, Guardians, Tigers.
I got a few
that?
Tigers that come to mind.
Is Casey Mize good? No, he's a lefty, isn't it? Oh, no, but he's 28. Can I get the team at least?
Yeah. I might get a pitcher, not a pitcher.
Damn. Okay.
Not a Tiger, so he's a White Sox, a Twin, or a Royal. Give me. I'm trying to think here. Half of these teams don't play good. You don't really follow them.
I know, especially the White Sox. If it's a White Sox player.
Oh yeah, we might be screwed. We just played them actually. Benintendi's too old. He plays left. Michael A. Taylor is too old.
True.
Twins. Buxton's too old. Correa's from Puerto Rico. Who's their second baseman? Give me. Man, why is nobody coming to mind for Cleveland besides like Emmanuel Clase?
We can get the team.
I gotta try Clase. Why not? I can't think of anyone else right now.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting a team, my friend. I'll tell you that. He is Dominican, but just for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not. Okay, well
That helps a lot, actually. He's
25 or 26.
Yep. I don't think Royce Lewis is from America. He is. That's that, and it's him probably. Yep.
Damn, you're good.
That's the guy I thought of. I don't think he's American.
No, apparently he is. Royce Lewis, Rolls Royce.
Mm-hmm.
Rolls Royce type stuff. Nice job. I was not gonna get that. No, I know who he is when I personally, but I recognize him. So good stuff, my friend. Well, screw the technical difficulties. We never had it in the first place.
I had technical difficulties.
Yeah, but all good, my friend. All good. But that'll do it. Kind of a fast show, but hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's June. Nothing's going on.
It's really nothing. Once NFL starts back up, it's going to be a lot of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, the 2-hour shows will return.
I know. I don't think we ever gone 2 hours. Well, we might.
No, we've gone an hour 45 before. I think that's the closest we've gone.
That's what you know. We rambled about something that day.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, we talked about Odell and not wanting to leave the Giants. We miss you, Odell. If you signed with someone else, great. If not, hey, retirement, buddy. Heck of a career for you. So thank you for your contribution as a Giant. Talked about the finals. We'll dive into more of it on Thursday, as the finals are now set with the Pacers and the Thunder. The Mets are back on top of the East. Congrats to the Mets. Heck of a win last night, of course, against the Dodgers. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. These next couple games, maybe they sweep them in LA. Who knows? And then finally, we dived into some NFL, retirements and Stanley Cup finals. that are also set
Yeah.
as well. So you can follow us on social media. Me, Nathan _ no 124, Brian at Brian PG1016. You can follow us at Third and 10 Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And you can find our article work plus the other podcasts and amazing writers that we have on the network at bellyupsports.com. Shout out to our sponsor SeatGeek. Use the code BellyUpSports for $20 off your first order. Restrictions do apply. For Brian, I'm Nate. Thank you guys so much as always for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.